don't start your own chant, Natalie. Hiya, everyone.
Hello.
Thanks for coming. I didn't even have to buy any of you a pint to be here, and I was this close to going downstairs and offering my services.
There's almost as many people as were in the bread shed yesterday. Almost.
Almost.
Yeah.
If you don't know us, we're Vandal Factory. Yes.
Ooh, come on in, folks. Oh, they didn't hear who we were. We'll have to do it again.
Oh! If you don't know who we are, we're Vandal Factory. That's right. My name's Natalie Quatermass.
I'm Henry Raby.
And together we are
Vandal Factory.
That's 3 times.
3 times. But when you hear something 3 times, that's when you buy the product.
Yeah, that's when you've got it in your brain.
Yeah.
So, yeah, anyway.
Subscribe to the podcast.
We love arts. We love activism. So on our podcast, we talk to all kinds of incredible creative people, from performers and poets and playwrights and people who do this, graffiti artists, about all kinds of social justice issues, such as...
Climate change,
yeah.
The climate catastrophe, social justice for Palestine.
Yeah.
Previously it was hating the Tories, now it's hating the red Tories.
Yeah.
Trans rights.
Yeah.
I mean, all that progressive lefty stuff.
All the good stuff. Henry likes to do a little bit of poetry on the side, and I do some theatre making, so we also talk about our own creative practice alongside all the brilliant people that we get to interview, which today are the amazing Grail Guard!
GG.
Yes, give us a cheer if you saw their set yesterday. Yes, it was so good. So we are so incredibly lucky to hear a once-in-a-lifetime acoustic set from Grail Guard, and nobody, not even them, know what that's going to sound like. We can't wait.
Yeah.
So one of the main things that we talk about on the Vandal Factory podcast is hope and anger. These are the 2 fuels. If you're an artist, if you're an activist, they keep you going in the dark times, and my God, are these dark times. So instead of saying how you doing at the beginning of every podcast, we ask, how's your hope and how's your anger? And today, dear friends, we're going to ask you, how's your hope? How's your anger? I want you to think back, when was the last time? It could be a small thing. It can be seeing the first snowdrop coming up and knowing that spring is coming. That's pretty hopeful.
That's pretty hippie-ish, though, Nat.
So, no matter, hey, punks are allowed to like springtime as well, and that is a hill I will die on. Didn't know I felt that strongly about it, but
I know you really like spring.
I really love springtime.
Or what's making you angry? Like, there's a lot of things, but is there like, yeah. I mean, how long are we going to be here for? But yeah, anything. For me, shall I start with?
Yeah, while they're thinking about it.
Yeah. So I will say that. So we live in Leeds, and it feels like every other week the far right are like, we're going to have a march in Leeds, and they're really trying to crack that. So we've got UKIP and Restore Britain, and they're always organising, and it just feels like this constant wave of like whack-a-mole of another group. But my hope is that we are organising. Yeah. There are people on the ground. Obviously there's always that push-pull of movements and intersection and discussion and tactics, but we are doing it. It isn't just going unchallenged. So the anger is that we have to do it, but the hope is that we are organising against these far-right groups that always get kicked out. They always, they never seem to swan in and swan out and claim a victory. It's never easy for them. So there's my hope and anger.
There's my hope. At the moment, I'm doing loads of work in reclaiming green spaces in working class urban areas, and there is a lot of work going on with just local people going, there's that patch of land, how can we make it our own, build it as a space that loads of people can come and share together in it. And this is mostly people who would say they're not political people, or I don't talk about politics, me, or they're not doing it necessarily for a political means. I just keep that to myself. Quietly know that the working classes are reclaiming the commons. But in a space where there is Union Jack flags still clinging on
These
and kind
horrible,
of
ragged
molting
bastards.
down every lamppost, and there's bits of graffiti that I have to walk past every time I'm walking the dogs, and it is always a hopeful thing or every day I'm getting reminded that when people come together, beautiful, amazing things can happen, and most people just want to get along with each other and have a nice place to sit, enjoy some fresh air, have a cup of tea, help each other out. Like, I do believe in our hearts of hearts that is at everyone's core. So that keeps me hopeful.
Great.
How about you, lovely folks? Let's come on down. Give us a wave if you've got something that you're hopeful or something that you're angry about while I get a Roman mic.
Ooh, Roman mic.
Come
For the
on,
listeners at home, there's too many people to choose from. The hands are like scraping the ceiling with this intensity of like...
And this is our friend Handsome Pete. Guess why he's called Handsome Pete? Yeah! All of you that hesitated, harsh. Okay, fair enough. Go on, Handsome Pete.
It's a short one. I'm pretty angry about AI.
Yeah, why?
It's destroying the planet, and it's like being used to like argue for getting rid of jobs and actually get rid of jobs even if it can't really replace them. And it sucks, and it's stealing art and all this other stuff. Just loads of reasons.
Boo, AI, boo.
My friend like used it recently on like a post, and he was like, "Oh, do you want to like upload this?" And I was like, "Nope, I'll use Canva. Thank you very much."
Anyone else? Yeah, come on. I'll come to the front first. This person here. Sorry, excuse me. We get to know each other.
Hello. Something that's brought me hope is recently in Glasgow in Queen's Park, someone put out a flyer for getting a swift kick to the balls execution style before they get bottom surgery, and hundreds of people turned up to watch and listen to the flute taps played, and it was just a good community event for the whole polycule. So it was good hope. Yeah.
That's amazing. Thank you. Cheers. You have your hands up as well.
So I'm going to be angry, and I think I'm going to speak for everybody here. I'm angry at the way Trump is leading this world into disaster.
Yes.
But I also have so much hope that the human race is now clicking on to what an idiot he is, and hopefully we're going to realise this very soon, and we'll get rid of him, and the world will be a better place.
Yes, thank you so much. Brilliantly spoken. One more from over here. You're sulking because I didn't buy you that pint I was going on about earlier. I gave you 2 cheers though. Surely that's worth.
That was quite awful.
Yeah. Oh.
No, I mean, that made me feel better, yeah.
So when we were quite worried that we weren't going to get an audience and you walked in, so I gave everyone an individual cheer. Come on in, you can come to the front, you'll make them look more colourful. Talking about hope and anger. All right, give yourselves a round of applause. Thank you very much, everyone. Oh yeah, we forgot. We should have done that as an incentive. If you give your hope and anger, you get a personalised Vandal Factory zine. There you go. That's your little prize. Right. I mentioned earlier that Henry likes to do some poems. He said just before we started, am I still all right to do a poem? I didn't know that was an option. I thought that had to happen. So all I can do is apologise, folks.
I will say, if Natalie did want me to not do a poem, she could rugby tackle me to the ground. She could easily deck us.
No, that's a rubbish introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the world's best punk poet. It's Henry Raby!
This is a new poem. Can I get a cry of new shit? New shit! So any feedback, warmly welcome. This poem's called Britain Needs, and it goes a bit like this. Britain needs reframing. The land of the Lowrys and treble WKDs on a Wednesday. Britain needs refreshing between the boat races and the closet racists and Sunday dinner new potatoes. Britain needs redecorating. It needs a spot of paint and a sorting out and cleaning of the sides. More gardens, allotments and parks. The 20s need more roaring times. Because Britain needs roots, reaching back down to drying up traditions, reanimating the harvest festivals and the midsummer fairs. Britain needs rye bonfires and bun throwing, dwyle flonking, hobby horsing, wassailing and water bailing. Because Britain needs rhubarb. And Britain needs ramps. Britain needs a local radio station and Sunday paper relaxation and a box of After 8 Temptations. And Britain needs roaring for lions and lionesses in football stadiums. And Britain needs rewilding, deeper forests and untamed roots, fistful of seeds for ramblers to wander where they please. Because Britain needs rabbits and railways both running on time. Britain needs rooms for roses and lovers to find. Britain needs rap and rock and somewhere for kids to go, and Britain needs risks and roads, both without crumbled holes. Or actually, Britain just wants revenge. Britain wants riots and to see hounds rend, because Britain wants to stay the same, and it wants all this new shit to end. Britain wants rewinding to the point in the story where Britain got things without saying sorry. But I think Britain needs reggae thumping through the walls, inviting round the neighbours with smiles for all, and Britain needs roti, smells roasting above cooking pots ablaze. Britain needs a good old rain to keep it the same, and renovated rudeness, and renowned rivers to romp around in, roundabouts and rollicking in respect for rule breakers, because Britain needs Reggie, and Rupee, and Roman. Britain needs Toden, and Trevor, and Reza. Britain needs a reality beyond the never never. Britain needs a ring when it gets lonely. Britain needs repaying, because Britain bloody owes me. Thank you.
So, without further ado, we would love you to give a roaring acoustic welcome, whatever that looks like, to the incredible Grail Guard!
Here they come, Grail Guard coming from the back of the room. It's Grail Guard coming from the back of the room. Yes, it's Grail Guard coming from the back of the room.
Was wild. Oh, incredible. You're going to play us a couple of tracks first, aren't you?
It's about to get wilder.
Oh, yeah.
Should we sit on the sofa so we can be behind them?
We were contemplating it, but we think it's better to... it's weird. Yeah, 100% it is weird, yeah. It's definitely a little bit weird, I'm not going to lie. So, I'm Riaz, hi everyone. This is Adam. Adam is the drummer in Grail Guard, but he originally started out as the guitarist. Unfortunately, needs needed to be met, and Adam stepped up and got on the drums after our drummer left. Mostly because he hated Adam. No, that's a lie.
Are we allowed to swear on this podcast? Yeah, he called me a cunt and then left.
The truth of the matter is...
I am a cunt.
Our drummer said that we weren't making enough money as a punk band, and we were like, we're a fucking punk band, we're never going to make any money. Look at us now. Yeah, so we're going to open this set with Cruel Britannia. So this is the first song that we wrote as a band that wasn't a Black Flag or a Minor Threat cover. So this song is about... I never really get to talk about what this song's about on stage, because when you're on stage and you've got like 30 minutes to play, you're in such a rush to just go, this song's about the British Empire, and then, you know, you go into it. But it's a bit about a bit more than just the British Empire. It's about how in schools we're not really taught about the negative aspects of it all. Like, my kids, they say to me, like, you know, there's such a sort of candy-coated version of history that we're given. We're not taught about the famines that the UK caused. We're not taught about how they went to India and plundered all the riches. We're not taught about what happened in Liverpool with the docks and how they designated black and Asian people as aliens, and then drowned people because it was more convenient for them to scapegoat people of colour, much like what's happening now. It's scary how history repeats itself. So yeah, Cruel Britannia is about that, and we're going to try it acoustically. Together like a murmuration, death diving is the end of the nation, propaganda in every paper, rising prices and higher inflation. Britannia said we'd never be slaves. Manipulation is the media's way. Frog March, Sheeran, Mark Grave. Cruel Britannia from the land to the sea. It's 400 years of bloody history. Cruel Britannia from the land to the sea. It's 400 years of bloody history. Never been great. The legacy of colony, the lies and the hate. Great Britain, she's never been great. The legacy of colony, the lies and the hate. Great Britain, she's never been great. The legacy of colony, the lies and the hate. Great Britain, she's never been great. The legacy of colony, the lies and the hate. Great Britain, she's never been great. The legacy of colony, the lies and the hate. Great Britain, she's never been great. The legacy of colony, the lies and the hate. Great Britain, she's never been great. The legacy of colony, the lies and the hate. Great Britain, she's never been great. Thank you very much. That wasn't as scary as I thought it'd be.
Good percussion skills. I'm going to be out of job. Still fucked up.
Still fucked up, yep. So I'll talk a little bit about this one. Again, in my life, I've had a lot of people, and I don't know why, but they always have to justify the isms to me. And I do feel like, as a person of colour, it's almost like they're saying, you're one of the good ones. And so it lets them say things like, I'm not racist, but. And it's like somebody will talk to somebody on a phone call, and the person they're talking to might have an accent, and they'll say things like, oh, you know, if you're going to speak English, at least learn the language. And it doesn't make sense, for one, because they're speaking English, obviously, but because they're speaking with an accent, they're like, I'm not racist, but. And it's just, I'm starting to hear it a lot more, you know, I'm not racist, but, or I'm not homophobic, but I don't want to see it happening in front of me. It's ridiculous. It really, really is. So this is a song that I wrote in response to those sorts of people. This one's called Still Fucked Up. same old bullshit with a different take. You're making backwards comments, stupid look on your face, and you think you're so progressive with your theories on race. Cause they fucking Nazis with a punch in the face. It's still fucked up, it's still fucked up, it's still fucked up. It's still fucked up, it's still fucked up, it's still fucked up. Backwards Jews are a fucking disgrace, and you're spreading misinformation all over the place, but you haven't got the gall to say it straight to my face. Straight up fucking Nazis with a punch in the face. It's still fucked up, it's still fucked up, it's still fucked up. It's still fucked up, it's still fucked up, it's still fucked up. It's still fucked up, it's still fucked up, it's still fucked up. It's still fucked up, it's still fucked up. To act like you fucking do, to think like you fucking do. You're not racist, but you'll chat bad shit to justify the bullshit that your mouth will spit. You're not racist, but you'll chat bad shit to justify the bullshit that your mouth will spit. Blech. Fuck you. You're a pig in a trough, bathing in its shit, ruining lives and being praised for it. You're a pig in a trough, bathing in its shit, ruining lives and being praised for it. Still fucked up, still fucked up, still fucked up. Still fucked up, still fucked up, still fucked up. Still fucked up, still fucked up, still fucked up. Still fucked up, still fucked up. To act like you fucking do, to think like you fucking do. Cheers.
GG.
Come
Come have a little seat on the old sofa. There you go. How did that?
May I sit here?
How did that feel?
Crazy, isn't it?
Scary.
It's all right, not too bad.
Yeah, that sounded amazing. How did it sound? They have to say that. No, that was awesome. Thank you. Such a gift. So we wanted to start by chatting to you both about back in your youth. I'm imagining it's your youth. What first got you into music? What was your intro to punk? And yeah, tell us about the legacy before we get to the amazing Grail Guard.
For me, it was getting into ska music, like with my dad. My dad was massively into disco and soul music, but he had a bit of a soft spot, being from Coventry, with ska. So yeah, there's quite a bit of ska in my house, and a lot of now compilations. So it was just, I think, the boom of the sort of 90s indie generation kind of just moved me on to punk, and I think it was skateboarding as well, skate videos, hearing all the sort of bands on skate videos. I was like, oh, you know, I just love the energy of it all. So yeah, I was getting to it from skateboarding really. So like that, I think that was the proper introduction into it all. Was
Pete earlier, who's a big skateboarding guy. You happy?
Yeah.
Happy because someone's mentioned a skateboard? Yeah.
Anybody else like as a skate punk kid that like got into it through that?
No,
they're not. Yeah, what about you? What about you, man?
I think my neighbour gave me a tape of Pantera when I was about 10. I can't say that they're my favourite band now, or weren't pretty much for about a week after I listened to it, but it definitely got me into something that wasn't kind of just shit landfill kind of pop music. And then, yeah, lots of black metal until I went to, what was the record store in Birmingham called?
Tempest Records.
Tempest.
Yeah.
And I had a choice between buying Rain in Blood by Slayer or Everything Sucks by The Descendants. And, yeah, chose The Descendants and never looked back. We really didn't. And then, yeah, then Riaz and I started playing in bands together when we were 17, so
Yeah.
very long time ago.
Only 2 years.
Yeah. I fucking wish 2 decades ago. So it's quite nice that we played with sort of members of Shackleford in a band called Temping Bastards back in the day in Nuneaton, with a lot of the same bands. So like we saw Lightyear last night play, and we saw them play in a little back room of a social club in Nuneaton, like 2002, 2003.
Yeah, we played with
wonderful.
them. Yeah, and the trumpet player pissed on me.
Deliberately? Or was it?
No, he had half of his face shaved, and it was really amusing. And I was like, just looking at him, and he kind of looked at me and with these like crazy eyes, and he turned around and it was weird at the same time. So it was.
This was in a public toilet.
It was in a public
Right.
toilet. It was.
I don't know what goes down in the Nuneaton.
That's the last time we invite Lightyear around for dinner. Like, this is.
I said, "Where's half your beard?" And he went, "I'm Gandalf the Grey." And that was it. Yeah, he told me he was Gandalf the Grey and weed on me a little bit, and then rock and roll. Yeah.
See, this is what we need to pass down to the next generation of punk rockers. When are we going to become the generation that are the Gandalf the Greys? I was thinking about like a similar love of ska, and like growing up being like really into like two-tone and ska being very upbeat and positive. But I was also thinking like actually the older I get, the more I go to like quite like heavier music actually, and I feel like the world is making me more of this like gnarled millennial. So I was wondering about like, do you find actually when it came to new music you were like, actually maybe ska isn't what I need to do, it's what Grail Guard is, which is obviously we've just heard it's an acoustic version, but is guttural and furious, and you know you've got reviews saying how visceral you are. What was that evolution for you to go, okay, now it's time to do this type of music for this world?
Yeah, it was definitely a combination of things. I think, so after I was playing in a number of punk bands, a couple of them with Adam, I really didn't make music like for a good while. I was in a 2-man doom black metal band for a bit. And then I did an acoustic bit with some friends. It started to go really, really well, and then fell apart. And it was just a frustration of lockdown, I think. And I think I've always been into music for it to be about something. So I found, like you said, with ska, as fun as it was, it didn't really resonate with me in terms of what it was about. And I think even as a kid playing in a ska band, like I wanted it to be a bit more about the world as opposed to just, you know, I suppose partying and girls. So it was always my intention to do punk the way that I felt punk should be, and to be about something, and to be about change, and to be about making a difference. So I think Grail Guard was definitely the evolution of that. And I think it was just growing up as, you know, a third generation child of an immigrant, and seeing the sort of vitriol directed at people like me for the longest time. And it does feel like it's not getting any better. So, like, I do feel like, I think the reason that Grail Guard is making the impression that we're making is because people feel like there isn't bands that are saying what we're saying. And I do think that it is important that the message that we're trying to convey is listened to. So I think that's probably one of the reasons.
It makes me feel really hopeful, actually. So, kind of Breadshed yesterday. It's, you know, Riaz talked a lot in between songs about politics and kind of messages and stuff, and like growing up with bands like Broadways and Propagandy, like that was always something that I was interested in. Like I read along a lot of lyrics and like I'm really interested in bands who have kind of a message. And when we started out, we were kind of a lot of mixed bills, and you could see a few people kind of turning away from it. But it's nice that so many people are kind of leaning into it now, and it's just nice that people are kind of wanting to share in a message, but also sharing a good time. So like when you asked about the hope and anger earlier, like it's really hopeful yesterday that there were so many people with a sort of common cause in the same room together, and it you know, obviously fucking huge buzz to us as well. So thanks everyone for coming out. Yeah. But it's just nice that there was, you know, there was no eye rolling. It was kind of like, you know, Grail Guard have a political message. It's like, you know, it's not for everyone, and that's absolutely fine. But it means the world to us that people will kind of like listen along, and you know, that's just great. That's really good.
Jump in on that. But and yeah, it was an amazing set, and it was rammed in Breadshed yesterday. We were right at the back, and the energy that everyone was throwing forward to you, right from the person who was like at the back door. I hope you could feel that on stage.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
And as much as I do agree that people, you know, usually know the band and know why they're there, and that you've got a political message, but I was also getting an impression that perhaps when you're in a festival that's a punk festival such as this, first and foremost, people are here for the music, and they will give stuff a go, and you'll reach people who might not know you as too. And so when you're doing things like a fuck fascism chant, there's those of us who are like, yeah, we know the score, we know why we're here. And then I was also looking around to seeing some like, not rolling eyes, but some like, all right, okay then. And there was people who were like kind of going, interesting, go on. You know, there's a bit of this, like maybe there is a kind of thing where you can reach people who aren't necessarily kind of politically minded and actively engaging, because they're there for the music first, and then they hear a political message, and yeah, hopefully that can kind of smoke some flames, or flame some smokes.
I would never presume that a punk audience is actually wants change. I would say that actually a lot of the gigs I went to in my 20s, I was very frustrated. So everyone just seemed to get pissed. And I don't want to like be like, yeah, you're such a lame-o. I'm such a lame-o. But I was like, why aren't we talking about the strikes that are happening? And there's room for both, right? I don't want to be a killjoy, but like I do think like that's what is a good thing about MPF, is like there's room for like lots of fun and to say what needs to be said.
Sure, the cross-pollination is awesome.
But the album is Still No Future. It's a direct reference to the Pistols sneering, there's no future for you and we're 50 years on. Can you talk about that idea of like, that choice in name in the album, how that came together as a piece?
Yeah, so with Still No Future, with the album title itself, it was 50 years of punk was one of the things. But also from punk's inception in the 70s, from like the New York Dolls to Sex Pistols, the tone, it feels like, talking to my parents and my grandparents that are still alive, it feels like how it was for them back then. Not a lot has changed, and we're a more inclusive society, and there is a lot more integration, but at the same time there is still the media trying to divide us, right-wing politicians trying to divide us. Every other story is putting refugees in a negative light, or putting people of colour in a negative light, or support for acts of racism and violence against people of colour. In Birmingham recently there was a mosque that was vandalised, and every comment was give the man a medal and buy him a pint. And it's just, it's that narrative that is there. And when I read things like that, it gets to me. And I know that it is just a comment on a Facebook post or an Instagram post, but psychologically it's so damaging. And I think if it's damaging me, how about everybody else? How about young kids? How about 15-year-olds? how about my children? They're seeing such vitriol and hatred towards them everywhere. Then how are they supposed to feel in this country? My children are mixed race. And I feel that, like, at the age that they are, life should be about growing up and enjoying yourself, not the boy pulling off your hijab in the classroom, or my middle daughter is, you know, I'd never say to her, you have to wear a head covering, but she said to me, I don't want to wear one because I feel that I'll be targeted. She's targeted enough, she says, with bullies, that to her, that'd make her even more of a target. And she's 12 years old. It's you know, so it's the, to lead into the Still No Future, it's that whole, are things getting any better? Have things changed? So yeah, really, that's what sort of the album is about. Well, in my mind, anyway.
I was wondering, like, musically, as like someone who started off guitaring and then drumming, and like that sound, that shape, like you can't have such powerful lyrics and a message without the fucking music being really strong. So I don't know if you could talk a bit about creating the shape of a sound, because I think the album is like, I listen to it. I've listened to it a lot, and I don't normally go to that heavier stuff as much. But like, I'm really like, fuck, I need this. So I just wondered about that process of recording the sound and making the sound as well as the lyrics.
Yeah, I guess it sounds a bit cliche, but it's kind of not just us as well. Like, we worked really hard on the songs. Like, we practiced, you know, pretty much solidly for about 2 years before we started recorded it. We played probably 100 gigs in 2 years or something like that. I lose track of the. So that kind of helped in the process. Like, James and Phil, who are also in the band, like, they're at the back of the room now. Like, James is constantly tinkering with stuff. Like, and I think there's a really nice contrast of kind of like musicianship in the band, in terms of like, I'll want to play through something once and it just be really rough and scrappy, and like, I'm really happy with it. And James is like a perfectionist. He's always kind of tweaking stuff and making demos. So I think it's really nice that the songs have kind of evolved over time. I think playing them out is really important as well, because it's like, you know, we'll play them out for a couple of weeks and then come back and then do a little like tweak and another demo of it. But also, it's not just us in terms of like, so John Priestley, who plays in the Godfathers, and he was the bass player for The Damned as well. He's got a studio called Abatis Studios in Warwickshire that we recorded. He's such a lovely man, and we had so many bands recommending him, like Shackleford, who are friends from Nuneaton, and Face Up, who are also playing today or tomorrow, I think. They recorded with him, and he just brought so much energy and passion. Like, he's just an absolute master of his craft, and he just makes it a really fun experience. And like, yeah, so he brought a lot to the album as well. And then Dave from the Old Cider Press, like, mastering it. That was absolutely incredible in terms of just like putting it up to the next level. But yeah, there's a lot of blood and sweat and tears that have gone into it. Like, it was a really long process as well, and nerve-wracking for me as well, because, as I mentioned at the start, the old drummer left like 2 weeks before we were starting recording it, so I had to learn everything in 2 weeks and then start recording it. So that was, yeah, it was a good process though.
It takes a village to raise a punk child. And your punk child is in the world. Your fourth child is now here. So it's available to listen to.
Well, yeah, I was going to ask about how does it feel after all that work to see the reaction of it coming out, and tell everyone what's the reaction been, and then how does it feel? I feel like I've got a glimpse of it from yesterday's gig.
It's been amazing. Like, you record something, you record an album, and you think to yourself, your friends will buy it, and that's about it. But for it to sell out, you know, in less than a month has been amazing. Really humbling. It's been already a year of just humbling experiences. So, you know, from a packed out MPF to the vinyl, you know, pretty much selling out everywhere, to all the lovely reviews and all the really good feedback. It's been like fantastic. It was nerve-wracking to begin with, because you're like, oh, TNS are really taking a chance on us with this one. And then, for it to
Can I ask what when you said they're taking a chance, in what way?
I think in my own mind, it's like, we're a fairly new band, despite the fact that we've played 100 plus gigs. You just don't know how things are going to be, and I was just really worried that it wasn't going to sound. Super nervous. Yeah.
Fab.
Awesome.
Cool.
Thank
Well,
you so much.
we're going to do a little bit more chit chat,
To the
but we'll
audience.
finish with a Grail Guard banger at the
Yeah.
end of the show. But can we give the GGers a huge, massive round of applause?
Yeah!
What a bunch of lads.
Amazing.
Now,
There's more of you.
whoa.
Good. Hey.
So you can go chill out if you want.
No, they're going to stay here. Sit down. Don't you go nowhere.
I spy.
Listen to me, don't him.
I spy another guest that we could invite upon the stage. So
we're going to do that now? Or?
Yeah, let's
do that
think
now.
So,
Don't worry, everyone just went, shit, am I the guest? Oh, God, am I the guest? They're going to come.
So through trials and tribulations, they've come up from that London. Have you
That
heard-
London?
That bloody London.
London?
And they're a poet who's performing later on today on the poetry stage. But I asked if they
Have
could
you
come and
checked
do
that this
some-
is okay?
You
Are
ready
we-
to come and do some stuff? Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
That's
See, I knew you
closer
should
to
have
yes
checked.
than closer to no. Okay. Okay, a bit jet lag from that flying visit. Folks, can you make some noise for Smoked Poet?
We'll stay here for this one.
Do you want me to actually perform?
Yeah.
Oh, right. Two performances. Hi, I'm Shama Smoke Poets. I'm from East London, not just London.
You've got to be specific,
London.
sorry.
I feel like I have to say that when I'm in Manchester up north, so you guys don't hate me. Because East London is cool, no? You've heard about East London, right? we have a great history. Cable Street, we fought the Fash many times. I've not been to Manchester in like bloody years. I used to have an ex-boyfriend from here. And
We
I used
can't
to come
take any responsibility
I used
for...
to come here a lot, and I haven't been here for a while, so it's nice to be back in Manchester. The first question I got asked is, where are you from? I said, I'm from East London. They asked me if I was a West Ham fan. I said, no, I'm an Arsenal fan. She told me to walk away. I'm looking forward to hoping to run into Gary Neville because I've got a lot to say to him. Bastard. It's really unusual that I get invited to punk gigs because I never really... I like post-punk. I like the Libertines. Are they post-punk? Someone told me they were post-punk. Okay, there you go. That's how little I know about punk. I'm so sorry. But I used to do a lot of Punks for Palestine gigs. I used to get invited to them. And then people were just screaming, you're a punk on stage. And compared me to Linton Kwesi Johnson. No one is as good as Linton Kwesi Johnson. But I know that the punk scene and what he was doing at the time in the 80s, it connected. And so I guess poetry does come from punk, right? Yeah, there's a connection. All right, I'm trying to make connection with you guys. I know it's like, I'm trying to make a connection before I spit. We didn't muster up any music, so I'm sorry if it sounds dull, but if it sounds dull, it just means that I'm a shit poet, really. I'm not a spoken word poet, I'm a street poet, and I talk about street poetry a lot because it has its own history. In the Native Tongue collection, I'm a hip-hop head, I'm a trip-hop head, and that's where the influence comes from. I don't hate spoken word, I just don't like the rhythm of spoken word. But it's political, poetry is political, and so we should give it its true rep. Okay, shit. A cappella. Rest your head, you never know how to say it best. Think you're ahead, but move like the rest. Better than depressed, fed secrets and death threats. Are chained to the sofa next to the king's head. Talk to me, you're never here. Vultures flaunt your silence. Academics never listen, and books taught me after I learnt the lesson. So it begins with a question, do I keep living? Normalize pain, not forgiving. Lost your time ago, now I turn back the pages so we can find ourselves in memories. These days they have us running slave ships so we can descend from our history. Your lyrics are for the homeless, people who doubt us, misfits fit into your gutless. I can't lie, the world fought less. 9 to 5 for the broke heads. Party hard, drunk less. Chemicals fight me hard, they work less. Found the ground to ground me on, I felt hopeless. Protest for bread, how many bodies fell for their friends? Each of your gods stay home. Heaven full of your pounds. Hell full of your sounds. Oh, it begins with a question. That's how I feel after I do my 12-hour shift at the NHS bots. I'm a mental health worker, and that's a little glimpse. It's all right, it's okay. It's all right. I saw your face. Don't clap, because every time clap, a nurse dies. But yeah, that's a little bit about the trials and tribulations of like workers and the struggle of alienation and wanting to make a difference, but people like Wes Treating, who's too much of a cunt. And so you feel like you're just stopped there. Fuck Wes Treating. We can't save the NHS, we have to rebuild it. I work with a lot of people that struggle with schizophrenia and all sorts of mental health illnesses. And I work a lot with trans patients who are being broken slowly by this system. And it is one of the worst things that I've ever had to work in an institution as a Marxist, deal with in terms of how do I not be a part of a system that ends up killing them. And they call it suicide, and it's actually systematic murder. These people don't want to die. They are made to die. But there's a lot of good work being done, and hopefully I'd like to see a change where trans people are treated like any other patient, and get their puberty blockers and get their hormones. White world, your borders, your beauty are truly your ugly. What we've become. So when I say white world, I'm not talking about white people. I'm talking about, sorry, I just feel like I have to say that because I'm in a room full of white people and I'm not really used to that. And I love it, but I'm not really used to that. So now I feel like I have to explain, but I don't really, because I know you get it. I know you're anti-imperialist. I know you're anti-racist, otherwise you won't be here. Let me start again, sorry. That was one of those moments. That was one of those moments. You know Richard from the morning show, that fucking twat? Sorry, I just had an Instagram clip in my head just going past. And you know like what happened with the transatlantic slave being known as the worst atrocity in the world. And Richard, that fucking... Why is he on TV? He's such a dickhead. He was talking to I forgot which president it was from a Caribbean country, and he said, why do we as white people have to feel bad and feel, responsible for the slave trade? And he said it in a really aggressive manner. He was really angry. I don't know what the fuck is up with that guy, man. He obviously has a lot of slave money or something that he might have to give back. And he was really aggressive towards the guy. And the president turned around and went, "My friend, you are still benefiting from white supremacy. You're still benefiting from the slave trade." Sorry, I don't know why I had to say that. I'm gonna continue spitting. But yeah, Richard's a dickhead, and he should he's a fucking fash, man. Like, anyway, he might not look like, well, anyway, he's a fucking dickhead. He really pissed me off when he did that. And it's, as the guy, you were saying earlier about, have things changed or things worse? I don't think that it's anything about change, is that things have escalated. this time reminds me a bit of the time of Margaret Thatcher, actually. Vast unemployment, Enoch Powell speeches, everyone fighting migrants. First they're welcome because they built this fucking country, and now they're being trashed out at the outside EU borders and detention centres, and we've been looking at ICE and Trump and the European Union, and here it's fucking getting worse. As we saw the Manchester demos against Britain First. But yeah, I don't. It's a poignant time. It's worse in many ways because it's been rationalized more than, you know, my Jewish friends like to say that the Muslims are the new Jews. But we know that when Islamophobia rises, so does anti-Semitism. And I don't know if I fucking trust the Greens, but that's the only hope I feel like we've got a little bit. But the Greens have got a lot to do in terms of institutional racism. White world, your borders, your beauty. Truly, you're ugly. What we've become, tragedies of numb, treading on mud while they twiddle their thumbs. I'm not a story. There's no thrones to be won. What is there to take? Why let it be this way? Keep your mouth shut. They pay double for tears, but not when they dry up. You don't understand me. Confined in big spaces, our ceilings so high they hide their faces. But people are strange when they have money. So they sleep in Africa to show empathy, because emptiness is their epitome. But men is more destructive. Oh, enemy of the sun, but I shall not compromise. And until the last pulse in my brain, my veins, I shall resist. What became of love when they built walls for us to rust? You were living yesterday, but today you're the one. Now monsters creep in spite of me. It's not me, it's you. You're everything that beams. Your drones are everything they see. Children, they pile up. Must they burn like dust? I can't run from the silence of your drums. I count my days in each hurdle, as sorrowful as I seem. Looking past all that breathes, how they divided us. Well, I speak as if it was me. They hate us, so how can I talk about love or how to love or love as I have loved? They hate us, so how can I talk about love or how to love or love as I have loved?
Yeah, amazing. Thank you so much.
Can we get a massive applause?
No, it's perfect. You can come sit here. You're not finished yet. We weren't planning to be an acoustic podcast, but that's what we're turning into. It could be our niche.
Yeah.
Acoustic punks. Thank you so much. We're so glad you made it in time. Oh, look, every time it stands up, there's more people. It's like you're multiplying in like a weird sort of cloney way in the back. We're going to finish on the usual part of our regular podcast, which you're all going to save and subscribe to. There's a bit that's called Nat's Provocation Stations. It's usually where I get to talk about my creative practice and the state of the world and put the world to rights a little bit. But for this one, we're going to think about how we can all collectively contribute to the festival so far. So I want you to wake up a little bit for this last bit of the podcast. As I mentioned at the beginning, I do lots of work reclaiming green spaces in urban areas. I find got my heart in a punk DIY culture, and we're finding lots of grassroots ways of coming together, connecting with one another. That's what we're all going to work on now. So we have our amazing guests. You have no idea about this, but we're going to put you to work. I'm so sorry. If you've got a pen and paper, we have some incredible lyricists on the couch. And as I come around and chat to you, they are going to be making some notes. Right, and together, our amazing poets are gonna make a collective poem about our festival so far. So I want you to think. Close your eyes if you feel comfortable enough doing that. Think about your journey to Manchester. Did you come from far away? Did you come from close by? When was the last time you came to Manchester? What was the weather like? What did you see? What was the first punk that you saw as you were getting closer to the festival? And did you, like I did, go, I bet they're on the way to the festival. So are we. We're all together going on to the festival. Mind that. Was that me? Oh, no, it's Henry. Think about the best moment you've had so far. A moment that gave you some joy. I don't need to know much context about it. I just need to know in a few words what moment so far has given you joy. It could be a massive thing, like seeing your favourite ever band on stage, feeling the audience vibing just as much as you were. It can be a really small thing. Think about something that has made you feel a different kind of emotion other than joy, like anger or frustration or hope, or give me some other feelings.
Hungry.
Hungry. Hungry.
For justice.
Is anyone else hungry every 2 hours? Henry is hungry every 2 hours. I'm thinking of getting him checked at the vet. Right. So I'm going to come round and ask you for your moments. You can describe them in as few or as many words as you like. And as you're listening, you're going to make some notes, okay? Then we'll go around one sentence at a time. We're going to make a poem about our festival so far. All right, who's got a moment that they thought of? Come on, be brave. Oh, and if you contribute, you get a zine. How's that? Vroom. For the viewers at home, 400 hands just went up in that exact moment, because God knows punks will do anything for a zine. Go on, start again. It's old, handsome Pete. Come on.
My favourite moment was sitting with Henry in this room, and we sat on the sofa, and it felt like there should have been other people sat on the sofa, so we were just joking about how, like, you weren't supposed to sit on the sofa, and everyone else in the room was, like, sort of talking to each other about, like, those idiots, you're not supposed to sit on that sofa. Don't they know? And how everyone hates us.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Pete. Thanks, Pete. My favourite moment one of my moments yesterday was us sitting at the back of the basement and us just spotting people's clothes and noticing, like, oh, that band T-shirt, we've got that band T-shirt. Oh, I like those boots. And how wherever you go during the festival, it's just good for people watching. People come with some good outfits. I enjoy it a lot. Anyone else? Yes, I'm coming to the back. Thank you, sir.
My favourite moment so far is watching a fully grown man stage dive while on a giant inflatable banana into the crowd while screaming Simpsons-inspired lyrics.
And why was that your favourite moment so far? That sounds amazing. Jay, I'm going to ask you. You don't get an option. What's been your favourite moment so far? Or just a moment?
I got home yesterday and my dog had not done a shit.
Hey! Well done. What's the name of your dog?
Pepper.
Oh, well done, Pepper. Anyone else? Any more for any more? Yes, well done.
Your get off the train thing. I got off the train and could see some people who were completely living what they believe and loving the punk festival all dressed up. And it made me feel conflicted because I spent my whole journey up here trying to save my job by being all professional and writing the right things in defect analysis. And I thought, I wish I could take risks and be like them. But equally, if I do so, then my power to do good through other things, I lose. And yeah, it made me think, where did I go wrong? Yeah, how could I have not been in this torn situation?
Describe the people that you saw getting off the train that you thought were living their best lives.
They were dressed exactly as they wanted to dress for the, like you said, they're going to the festival. I could give them directions, and and I thought, wouldn't it have been nice if I had the bravery to take that route myself and to end up as in my zone as they were. But
maybe it's something to think about for next year. I've got a list of things. More tartan. Must wear more tartan for next year.
I think we need
one more person at the back.
We're running out of time. We need to
but
finish up.
you're running the next stage.
Yes,
and I'm
I know,
having
that's
a
why I
nice
need to crack
time.
on. I don't want to annoy myself in the future.
Okay, are we ready? We're going to do one line at a time. Do you all want to stand up? Come on, we're active.
You can tell that's a facilitator working with...
Right, you ready for your poem? Made by the best lyricists in the whole wide world. Give them a cheer! Here you go. Take it in turns.
There's people and there's comfy sofas, stage divers and crying to make it work. Let's be the risk takers, not the fakers.
Mine's a bit more simple than that. Mine's don't sit on the sofa while your people watching. Release the hound pepper, losing power and non-conforming attire.
A little sneak peek to the next Grail Guard single.
Oh my God. I kind of like just wrote bullet points.
That's all right.
And they're not very poetic. Anyway, no room on the sofa, staring at people's clothes. I love watching when people are alone. Stage dived on a banana singing lyrics from The Simpsons. My dog didn't shit. Got off the train and saw some punks dressed as punks. I should risk it for a biscuit.
Folks, thank you so much for checking out the Vandal Factory podcast. The poetry stage is starting soon, then it's going to be the comedy stage. If you like us, give us a share, give us a like on social media.
Yes, please.
We've been Vandal Factory. I've been Henry Raby.
My name's Natalie Quatermass.
We're going to finish with an absolute grade A hammer banger from the one, the only, Grail Guard! Let's go, Grail Guard!
I'll be brief. This song is called Our Streets. This song is about the Battle of Cable Street, standing up against racists and fascists everywhere. Every march you've ever been to against the right-wing groups that we have in the UK, and about the pressures that people of colour, my parents, my grandparents faced in this country. Right. When you're ready, Adam.
Can I ask a big favour? Yes. Does everyone want to make it this song's literally 2 minutes. So, like, if everyone stood up and just walked to the front, we'd have like a little mini gig. Yeah! It's literally 2 minutes. 2 minutes of your entire day. Consider it sort of calisthenics as the start of the day. Come forward. Come on.
Yes!
Let's go, Grail Guard!
My family's been in this country since 1952. Invited into this country to do the jobs you wouldn't do. My family's been in this country since 1952. Invited into this country to do the jobs you wouldn't do. My dad was born in this country in 1963. Immigrant son, you won't amount to anything. Then he went and he had me. They don't want us in their streets. They march for it and they met defeat. They don't want us in their streets. They march for it and they met defeat. I was born in this country in 1985. Go back to your own fucking country, Packy. I've heard that shit since I was a child. They don't want me in their streets. They march for it and they met defeat. They don't want me in their streets. They march for it and they met defeat. They don't want me in their streets. They march for it and they met defeat. They don't want me in their streets. They march for it and they met defeat. From Windrush and fighting in wars, unite will stand as one. But when you want someone to blame, you want us Packies gone. From Windrush and fighting in wars, unite will stand as one. But when you want someone to blame, you want us Packies gone. In our streets, we march for it and they met defeat. We don't want them in our streets, we march for it and they met defeat. We don't want them in our streets. We don't want them in our street. Whose street? Whose street? Whose street? Thank you so much. Our street. We've got some merch around the corner.